Hello and welcome to the very first broadcast from the Rebel Crone. My name is Elisa and I created this project as a celebration of women and the aging process. You know, unfortunately in this world, we're not taught anything about aging. Instead, it's like a very mysterious thing out there that most people are quite afraid of, to be frank. You know, we're told that as we get older, our purpose is no longer relevant. We've done our thing. Thank you very much. We can now sail off into the sunset, enjoy our days, which is nothing wrong with that. But far from being irrelevant is that I feel like our true potency, our true strength and reason for incarnating is most relevant right now as we age. So this channel is for younger women as they're approaching the time when they're going through the big change, perimenopause and then menopause and postmenopause. And it can be a scary time. And through the Rebel Crone, I want to share wisdom from myself and from my peers to help other women along that way, to shine a light on the road ahead, and that it's a really spectacular road. In fact, the last few weeks I've done interviews with women. They happen to all be older than me. I've done 63 turns around the sun, and everybody interviewed was in their late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s, and each one of them said it just gets better. Well, that blew me away. I thought, oh my gosh, I kind of thought, okay, now I'm in my elder years and here I am, and yes, I'm growing and changing, but to really hear that it gets just better and better, that was just mind-blowing cool. So this channel is also for my peers, my sisters, the ones that have made this transition into their older years, and how we can help each other. We're all still growing and learning. We're all still breathing, right? We've taken our initial inhale. We haven't taken our last exhale. So that means that we're still growing. We're still vital. We still have a purpose in the world. So Rebel Crone, let's look at Crone. If we turn back the time machine to way, way back, to a time when Mother Earth was respected and loved and understood as the progenitor of life. When women were honored, when the goddess was revered, when the feminine energies held a complementary place with the masculine energies. Back then, you know what a crone was? A crone was the crown, was the crowning glory for a woman of a life well lived, lessons learned, and wisdom won. It was absolutely the most incredible, spectacular transition a woman could make into her crondom, into her years of being able to provide and to help others in a very profound way. That is so different today from what we think of when we say the word crone. When I was looking for a name for this project and I decided to use that word, I had several people like, oh no, are you sure you want to use that? That brings up a lot of negative things in people, especially women. And I'm exactly why I want to use that word. And that's why we're rebel crones, because we rebel against that. We don't want to have any of that old aging bias put on us. Women nowadays, we are not our grandmothers. In fact, we're not even our mothers. We are paving a whole new path into older age, into becoming an elder. We're creating a whole new definition and showing the world what it's like to live a vibrant, full life all the way to the end. So we rebel against what the world says of us as older women, trying to cast us aside. And what we do, instead of just rebelling, because that's a good thing, is to let go of what's not working, but we don't want to tear things down just to tear things down. We have to build something back up. We have to let go of something and let go to something else. And what we let go to is to the crone within us. We rebel against what the world says. We're creating our own definition, us and our sisters and our peers. We're redefining what it means. Now, I want to share a little bit about my story. When I was, well, first off, I've taken 63 turns around the sun. And when I was in about 48 years old, and I was actually getting towards the end of perimenopause, which for some, is a non-issue, and for others, it's a big thing. Hormonal changes can really disrupt our emotions, disrupt us physically, but emotionally it can be very, very challenging, psychologically very challenging. This prospect of aging, this prospect of seeing our youth kind of withering away. Excuse me a minute. That can be a very, very scary process. And for me, it was. This was around 2007, and the economy was crashing. I had just left a job that I was no longer compatible with. And I'd gone through a divorce. I actually had a bankruptcy. I mean, it was a really embarrassing time for me as a successful entrepreneur. I was used to being a success. Now I was looking at my life at that point, and I saw my glass half full, and it was draining fast. I was really, really afraid. I didn't know what to do. I felt very alone in the world and very scared. So I did a lot of contemplation. I thought, I need to do a little rescue here, a little rescue remedy on myself. So I decided to be indulgent, which was like the little foreshadowing of the crone to come, and just do something I always wanted to do, but I never had the nerve to do. Well, I come from a line of ski patrollers. My dad was a ski patroller, and I grew up skiing ever since I was a little girl. When I was in my 20s, I always thought it'd be so cool to be a ski bum for a while, just have fun skiing. But I was a very dedicated entrepreneur, and I was really focused on building a business. And I did for 18 years. I created Elisa Designs, beautiful wearable art and jewelry for women. So you can see there's some little remnants of my love of adornment. So anyways, I was not used to being a failure. And when I was 48, I said, okay, I'm going to become a ski patrol, because I couldn't do it then. I was way too much an entrepreneur and way too focused on business. And so that's exactly what I did. I lived in Northern California. I took all my medical classes, I passed those, and then I ended up on a mountain in a man's world where I was the oldest, in my candidate class, the oldest person, the only female, being trained by all men in a very difficult program. I didn't know it at the time, but in the high Sierras, that program on that mountain, in that ski area, was renowned for being the hardest training, the toughest to get into. Well, every day I went up to train, I felt like my life was going to end. I felt like, surely this is the day I'm going to die. I was so over my head. It was really, really difficult. But in some time I'll go into the story more, but suffice it to say that I worked really hard. I could not fail. It's like my life depended on it. And in many ways it did. I was trying to turn around a life and a feeling of, everything going downhill. I couldn't fail at this. Well, I worked my butt off with it, and I put in all kinds of extra time, and I asked for help. And eventually, come graduation day, guess who took the top honor, candidate of the year? That was me, folks. I did it. And I graduated top of my class. It was incredible. I stepped out of that experience. I'm like, oh my gosh, my glass is filling back up, man. It's filling up and it's flowing over. It gave me so much confidence. But I did something very specific to turn my life around. And I continue to do that. I have not stopped in doing new things, in creating, bringing new things into the world. Through Ski Patrol, I met my current husband, and which was very unexpected. I didn't think I would ever find a partner again, and I'll just date and have fun, and that's it. And I found a beautiful man, and we connected. He was actually one of my trainers on the Ski Patrol, which is a really funny story, how I almost killed him the first time I met him by running over him with my skis in a toboggan. Very interesting, slightly embarrassing. But anyways, the story goes on. I also had some challenges then coming after that, coming into my 50s. I suffered from scoliosis since I was a teenager. And when I hit menopause, just my whole muscle tone changed in my body, and it really started to degenerate. And so I couldn't ski patrol, maybe did it for about 5 years, and then it became too painful. In fact, it was hard to walk and everything. And I eventually had surgery in my mid-50s, had a full spinal fusion, to correct it. It was over 45-degree curve in my lumbar. It wasn't that way growing up. I mean, I suffered from a lot of pain in my life just from balancing the scoliosis, but then it got a lot worse. So that was a whole other journey, so I missed this incredible win doing ski patrol. I also had a lot of challenges. The challenges never stop, they just change, right? When I was 58, I wrote my first novel. Believe it or not, from the woman that thought she had zero writing talent. I've always been an artist, very creative, but writing, never in a million years. Well, I felt compelled by my inner calling to talk about my life, write it and put it in a book. I put it in a fiction book so I could talk about all the other things that I love and are just of interest to me, ancient hidden history and alternative theories of stuff, all wrapped into a lot of my incredible metaphysical adventures that I've had. And you know what? I self-published. I entered my book I was very proud of it. I entered it into a lot of competitions, and I won first place in the American Fiction Awards for New Age fiction. I took a third place in Living Now Awards for spiritual fiction, and then about like 10 or more other honorable mentions, and all kinds of other, book contests. I mean, that was quite the feat. I am so proud of that. I'm working on my second fiction book, the part 2 to that one. And also one on the Rebel Crone will be coming out probably in the next year or so as well. Anyway, something completely new I never thought I was capable of. And now at 63, the project, the Rebel Crone. So ladies, it is just never too late. My peers, I'm here to support you and to help you to manifest and your purpose and find incredible new ways of expressing yourself and changing the world through your expression. For the younger women that are approaching these years, I'd like to bear witness that it is, oh my gosh, there's such exciting times ahead. As you grow into your cronehood, these blessed things happen that you no longer care what other people think of you. Imagine that. You have this incredible sense of yourself, and it doesn't matter. I'll wear all my things at once if I want, or I won't. I will express myself how I feel compelled and creatively and all of that, just because that's what moves my heart. I'm able to love and give and nurture in a whole new, different way. It's quite an incredible time. In fact, this whole Rebel Crone is devoted to aging with purpose, grace, and power. This past year, I've spent a whole year with, I'll call her my mystic mentor, Elizabeth Seraphine, and her, she's an incredible woman who is a little younger than me, but she has lived a life very purposefully and very much in the realms of, we say like the shaman, the priestess way, the way of the mystic way. And she's devoted her life to helping other women to step into their place of power, their unique place of power, and to find their unique purpose. So we've had there's been 5 of us doing this mentorship and apprenticeship this year. And had I started it, had I known towards the end of it that I would give birth to the Rebel Crone, I had no idea that this was going to be coming forth, but here it is. Yay. So I will be interviewing Elizabeth shortly here, and you can expect a really fun interview with her on this channel and many other incredible women that I'm friends with and have met along the way and will soon be meeting. But really, let's talk a little bit about this purpose, because it's aging with purpose, grace, and power. For me, purpose is always oriented and grounded in our higher connection. our higher self, called your oversoul, your higher being, your God self, whatever language you want to put on it is fine. But it's that higher point of reference for who you are. It's the you that breathed life into the physical being, that breathed life into me, Elisa. There's a higher self of me that imbues me every day with life force and life energy. And there was a reason. There's a reason that my eternal soul decided to incarnate on earth at this time. And that reason is my purpose. And it is really like, as long as you're living and breathing, you're still connected to your higher source, to the divine you, there's still a purpose. It changes throughout life, right? But I think there's an overarching purpose of the lessons we come here to learn and the things we come here to create and bring forth into the world. Now is a beautiful time to hone that in, to, maybe for the first time, figure out what it is. And maybe it's redefining what it is for you. Whatever. This is, as we cross that threshold into our crone years, our years of an elder, purpose becomes all that more important. For me, it's not like this scattered thing or this thing about, what I need to accomplish in other people's eyes and what the world tells me I need to do and all that. Now it's like all that's cleared away, and my purpose is that clear channel that's coming through. And through that channel, as the energy flows, that's what I mean by grace. Grace is the wisdom that we've learned and we've honed in, and it forms these beautiful containers. We live by that wisdom, the golden nuggets of being, our truths. What we've come here to learn, that forms this beautiful container that holds our purpose, and through that comes power. An incredible amount of power is available to us, ladies, at this age. And, let's make that power be one generative. We can rally within us and together, and we can change the world. If not us, who? If not when? Oh, if not now, when? Let's do it. Let's do that now. It's a perfect time for it. It is actually the time. This is the time. You'll hear this in many different areas. They call it the rise of the goddess. It's the time of the feminine energies. It's the time for us. This is our time. Let's enjoy it, and let's help each other with it. So over the course of the time of this video channel on YouTube, I also have a wonderful Instagram channel and also on Facebook. Please follow Rebel Crone. We'll have more videos where I'm talking about various things. I have ones coming up where I go into purpose a little more. I go into grace and power, and the whole aging process. I'll have all kinds of exciting guests that I interview, sharing their golden nuggets of wisdom and their lessons learned, and how they have moved in with grace into these years. So it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to it very much, and I hope that you will join me. I hope that you're intrigued, and if you are, please hit like and subscribe. Also leave your comments. I want to know. I don't want to do this in a void. Otherwise, what's the purpose if it's in a void? It's the interaction with you. I want to know what you're interested in. I want to know how you feel about the Rebel Crone. What areas you'd like to have me go into to find special guests to talk about, what you'd like to contribute. Please let me know in the comments below. And as always, just keep comments uplifting and powerful, and we will move through this together with grace and ease as we acknowledge what's right with everybody, and we ignore all the things that are wrong, and we move forward and build from a solid foundation together. Now, the last thing is I have some free gifts for you. If you go to the rebelcrone.com website, I have some free downloads for you. There's an incredible Ode to the Rebel Crone booklet for you, and also some wonderful screensavers that you can use. And they're all digital. Just give me your email address, sign up, and you will have access to all kinds of freebies, and there'll be more added all the time. Just as my gift, my creative gifts to you to help inspire and remind you every day of just the beautiful being that you are, and that it takes a lot of bravery to incarnate in the world, especially at this time. This is not an easy journey. Only the bravest of souls agree to come here and be a part of this whole process of elevating this creation, this projection into reality, projection of all these incredible divine souls, are making this happen. I don't know what the overall purpose is for the earth, but it's something very special. Let's add our part. Let's help turn this ship around. Let's help align ourselves with Mother Nature and the beauty and power she is, with the feminine, the masculine. Together we'll make it happen. So thank you very much for listening to me, and be sure once again to like and subscribe, and go to the channel, therebelcrone.com, and get your free gifts. So the best to you, my sisters, and any brothers that may be listening, and as always, love and peace in. Have a great day.